agreed to be the chaplain and our spiritual director for the Eagle Eye Charity. So thank you so much. But one thing I gotta tell you, Father Lou Scurti, PhD, just celebrated the 50th anniversary of his priesthood. Thank you for your services, Father Lou. He's Father Lou, as affectionately called by our parishioners in Roosevelt Island in the Mother St. Francis Cabrini Church, and also at the St. John Nepomucene, the East River Catholics, where our Father Martin Curtis here is also one of our priests who's been helping us and guiding us. So Father Lou helped immensely during this time of COVID, but not just COVID. Until today, he goes to nursing homes. He continuously give online masses. So our site for that is friendsoftheword.org.
Yes.
Yes, the friendsoftheword.org is where you will find the homilies. And I'm telling you, you can go on and on. It's different take. For us modern, in these modern times we live in America, it's totally resonating with us. So one of these days, I'm gonna ask you to just go in there. In fact, all these things will be recorded at friendsoftheword.org.
I'm not here to talk, although I can talk a long time. I'm here to paint. Someone asked me once, when did I start painting? My father worked for a pencil company, and he always had extra pencils around the house. So I was born with a pencil in my hand. So I've painted and drawn and sketched since I was a child. And tonight what I'm going to do is a visual reflection for Lent on the 7 dolors of Mary, the 7 heartbreaking events in Mary's life foretold at the presentation. So while I'm painting them, I'll just sort of reflect on what we're doing. And my art, as you'll see, is not realistic. It's very expressionistic. That's all I have to say. You'll see what that looks like for each panel. Thank you.
Thank you.
As the tradition is well known for the Jews, when a child is born, he is presented to God in the temple. Joseph and Mary, being observant Jews, did the appropriate visitation. However, when the child Jesus was presented to the temple, Anna was there, and Simeon, holy people who had lived in the temple area. When Mary brought the child forward, Simeon took the child and predicted something very, very difficult for Mary and Joseph to hear, I'm sure. He took the child and held him and prayed to God for this child, saying to Mary that this child will be the fall and rise of many in Jerusalem. The child was Jesus. Simeon thanked the Father for having lived this long, and now he could die in peace, knowing that his dream and his prayer had been fulfilled. You couldn't imagine what Mary and Joseph experienced as this child is being given into the hands of an old man in the temple. As the child is passed to him, he praises the child, thanks God for having been alive long enough to see the Messiah, and then begins what we call the 7 dolors of Mary. He tells her that this child will be the rise and fall of many, and this child will cause her 7 swords of agony. His life will be the cause of agony as this woman, Mary, whose child was predicted by the angel Gabriel, and Joseph stand by. The child is Jesus. The child is the Messiah. And the child is not seen as the Messiah by anyone but Joseph, Mary, Anna, and Simeon. This begins what we call the 7 dolors of Mary, the 7 heartbreaks. As the old man takes the child, he gives honor to God, but as he's doing this, Mary's heart is filled with confusion. What is going on? What is this prophecy all about? She will soon come to know, as the world will soon come to know, that this child is destined for greatness and pain. Thus begin the 7 dolors of Mary at the temple as the child Jesus is presented. And this is the first of the 7 swords as he takes the child into his hands. The child was born in Bethlehem, as we know. However, because of Herod, Joseph takes him with Mary to Egypt, because the command was that every boy born in Jerusalem should be murdered, because the Magi had already informed him that a new king was being born. So we have Mary and Joseph and the child protected by the angels as they make their way out of the Holy Land and into Egypt to seek refuge. Thus, the 2nd dolor of Mary comes to fruition. Taking the child to protection. Tomorrow we celebrate the feast of the foster father of Jesus, Saint Joseph. Joseph takes Mary, his wife, to safety. And the sands of Egypt welcomed them. And there the child stays with his parents until he is safe, until the angel tells Joseph, "Go home, Herod is dead." As their life continues, they grow up as a family in Nazareth. Mary, the mother, Joseph, and the child live a quiet Jewish family life. Sometimes this period is called the hidden life of Jesus. The child Jesus grows up and undergoes all of the natural steps of religious maturity. So they take him to the temple for the festival with their family and their caravan, knowing that they'll be safe as they observe the Jewish rituals. However, when they're coming home, the child Jesus is no longer with them. And as the caravan is long, it's not unusual for him to be with other relatives, they believe. But they search, and they search, and they search. And the child cannot be found in the caravan. So they go back. They go back to the temple. They go back to all of the places they had experienced with him. Where could he be? And they keep searching. And they find the child in the temple with the priests. Not sitting and learning, but sitting and teaching the priests. Of course, Mary is upset. This is another dolor. This is the third prediction, because her heart was breaking as any mother's heart would break in searching for their child who was lost in a big city. She and Joseph find the child Jesus in the temple, teaching the priests and the doctors of the scribes, teaching them the word that he knows so much about, because he himself is the word. Mary's heart rejoices, again thanking God for the discovery of her child. But the predictions are coming through. They're coming through the life of her son and the angels. What they said is now happening. That she would experience 7 dolors, 7 heartbreaks. And so the story of the fulfillment of Simon comes true again. As the child is discovered, but he has already pierced her heart again. The child grows up and is condemned by the public. The child grows up, Jesus, our Lord, is condemned to the cross. Mary's heart once again is broken as her son, her baby boy, carries his cross to Golgotha. The fourth dolor is Mary meeting Jesus on the way to Calvary. Her heart is breaking as she hears the voice of Simeon. Her heart will be pierced several times, 7 specifically, because this child of yours is destined to be the rise and fall of many. As she is accompanied by her friends, Mary of Magdala, Salome, and John, she sees her son. More than once he falls. As he suffers greatly. Maybe the suffering he experienced really came from him seeing his own mother watch him tortured. Maybe his suffering came from the points of the thorns in his crown. Maybe the suffering came from Pilate taking no responsibility. Maybe the suffering came from knowing that he was bearing the guilt of many. And that his cross would lead to our freedom. The eyes of mother and child meet, and as they meet, she hears the voice of Simeon. This child is destined to be the rise and fall of many, and the hearts of many will be broken. And you, Mary, your heart will be broken 7 times. The experience of Mary is not something that can be described so easily. For a mother to see her son tortured, mocked by the same people he saved, fed, and healed. And yet we hear nothing about her anger. We do recall her words to the angel Gabriel, "Let it be done to me according to your words." And so she becomes our mother at that point. The mother of all people, the mother of her son, and patron of our church, mother of the church. And this is the 4th dolor. The 5th dolor is Jesus dying on the cross. The 6th, Mary receiving his body. And the 7th, he's placed in the tomb. It's one action, you might say, that's sealed for her. The predictions of her son's rise and fall, the predictions that she would have her heart broken 7 times. As she sees him on the cross, and she takes his body, the same body she nourished as a child, the same body she cleaned, the same body she picked up when he fell as a child would fall. He dies on the cross. He's taken down, and he's placed into the tomb. There to wait his resurrection. At this point, Mary is not told about the resurrection, although she's been told it in so many ways. Now, all she sees is the body of her son laid in a tomb. And she waits with the world for the third day. As he predicted, he would rise. She waits with us. And the tomb becomes his brief resting place until the third day. Christ dies. Christ is put into the grave after being laid into the arms of his mother. And we wait. And thus, we have a reflection for Lent on the 7 dolors of Mary, Mother of Jesus. That's it. The style is very expressionistic, as you saw. The idea of the subject is there, but with the inner turmoil of the subjects, Mary, Jesus, we try to capture what was going on. It's not a pretty picture.
We'd like to present a certificate of appreciation given to Reverend Louis J. Scurti, PhD, mentor, spiritual director of Eagle Eye Charities for the 500 Years of Christianity Art Competition, for your role in giving us guidance, for your invaluable support to Eagle Eye Charities mission, as well as for the Friends of the Word, where I'm also at the board of the trustee. Father Lou, do we have picture?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Let's a picture.
I'm a chauvinist. Don't forget. And there are business cards here. If you'd like to take one for Friends of the Word, you go online and you can check out tonight's event, as also each Sunday and each weekday Mass and homily. The cards are here. Just feel free to take one and respond, communicate with us.
Those homilies are my food for the thought. Every time you will just keep on listening. Listen to that. It's a totally modern take, I promise you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful.